People in the know are getting pissed off because after a public health analyst called out a marijuana regulatory group for allowing alcohol, tobacco, and pharmaceutical interests to attend their events. Right, and thank God for people like Jane Allen here, who's a researcher with RTI International, this small nonprofit research institute that kind of brought this to everyone's attention, because this is one of those things that's so small and so boring that it's just incredibly easy to ignore. But small and unnoticed is how the fox gets into the henhouse, right? And it's how alcohol, tobacco stake their claim on cannabis right under our noses, guys. We need to pay attention here. So the organization at fault is the Cannabis Regulators Association, right? CANRA for short. So these guys are cannabis regulators, right? They are in charge of how marijuana laws are put into effect. And they're all members of government agencies here. So they're supposed to keep themselves separate from private interests. So they allow no membership, sponsorships, no funding or anything like that from anybody representing industries or any non-governmental groups like tobacco, alcohol, pharmaceuticals, or cannabis industries. That's in there too. So those kind of interests can't really advise them either. They kind of block them out. And that's an absolutely necessary thing. Right? Because, I mean, imagine if we had Ohio cannabis in the pocket of Johnson & Johnson, right? That'd be a disaster. We just can't allow that. So in light of that, in that very obvious reality, the CANRA has a rule, right? They do not allow alcohol, tobacco, or pharmaceutical interests to attend any of their events. But the group, the Coalition for Cannabis Policy, Education, and Regulation, recently attended an event they had in Minnesota. So let's say it, the Coalition for Cannabis Policy, Education, and Regulation, right? That sounds pretty innocent. I'm not going to say it. That sounds innocent until you find out that they represent huge global tobacco interests like Altria, Reynolds America, as well as Molson Coors, a huge international alcohol conglomerate. And what cannabis policy do you think they're advocating for? So several people brought this to CANRA's attention, but CANRA looked at that and they took absolutely no action and welcomed the coalition group to their event with open arms. So again, thank God for Jane Allen, who published her letter criticizing the group, and they've been taking a lot of flack for it ever since. So the representative in question here is Shanita Penny, who is actually currently the executive director of the Coalition for Cannabis Policy, Education, and Regulation. But CANRA, when CANRA was told about this, CANRA said no. We asked her, and she said she wasn't representing alcohol and tobacco when she came. She was representing other people. And you know what? Penny said the same thing. She said the people she was representing had nothing to do with those mega corporations at all. But she went right on to say that groups like CANRA would be better off if they did let alcohol and tobacco and pharmaceuticals into their group, saying, quote, "Consider the consequences," she said. "Nationwide cannabis regulation, devoid of input from highly regulated industries, will undoubtedly mirror the failures we have witnessed in several states across the country." So, all right, so regulators are supposed to listen to tobacco because cigarettes are regulated? Are you kidding me, guys? Come on. So they're getting worried. So they're worried about. So people are getting worried about like how this is going to happen, right? So alcohol, tobacco, and pharmaceuticals, guys. These guys are losing an incredible amount of money and market share to legal cannabis. This is how it's going to happen, guys. They are waiting in the wings to swoop in and take cannabis for themselves, to claim it for themselves. And the more legal cannabis becomes, the more they are going to make grabs for our cannabis. This is our medicine. This is our way. It's our culture, guys. And it's already happening. Look at this story. It's already happening. They're already in the meetings. They're already shaking the right hands. They're already whispering in the right ears. They already have their lobbyists in the halls of government buying cannabis out from under us. So this is why we need to watch out for these kind of things. We need to pay attention because I'm worried that they're going to take cannabis culture and nail it to a sales report to leave it there to die. And guys, by the time we hear about these stories, by the time it makes it to us, it's already been done. The deal has been made and it's out of our hands. Public scrutiny is the last tool that we have left, the last thing these big corporations fear, and we need to use it to step up and be aware of what they are doing and to say no to it. But in order to say no, guys, we have to be aware in the first place. Please pay attention out there. It's these small things.